But there is a good possibility that I hope in about I'm hoping about 6 months would be able to 6 months to a year.
Oh yeah, my daughter was born there. Yeah, and it seems to me that also from a professional perspective, she wants to study there for work
Sounds like night. Did you see the thing?
Actually, the weather is good, so it's not so bad to stay here. I think next time we will stay and by the family instead of going.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. As we're about to start this notable function, we kindly ask all of you to get a bit closer to the podium. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Amara, Group Chief Executive Officer of Ethiopian Airlines, Executive Management of Ethiopian Airlines, members of the press, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening once again. We thank you all for joining us to celebrate the inauguration of our flight to Manchester, England, and welcome to this auspicious occasion. Ethiopian Airlines is connecting the world with its ever-growing network, and it continues to be a vital bridge between Ethiopia and the UK. supporting the enduring economic, diplomatic, and cultural relations of the two countries. The largest aviation group in Africa and the Skytrax certified 4-star global airline, Ethiopian Airlines, is indeed soaring high above the skies and is taking the role of a connectivity to the next level. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, it's now my pleasure to call upon Mr. Tolda Gebramariam, Group CEO of Ethiopian Airlines, to the podium to make an opening remark.
Good evening and welcome again. Ambassador Susanna, the Ambassador of the UK to Ethiopia, members of the Management Board, Ato Girma, Ato Taddese, my colleagues, invited guests, our key accounts and customers, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure to be here this evening with you to celebrate an important milestone in our history, the opening of a second city in the UK, Manchester. Manchester is the second city in the UK in our destinations, and we've been flying to London since 1973. More than 46 years, so we are not new to the UK market, but we are very happy to expand our services closer to the customer in Manchester now, and many more to come. We're going to start the flights with 4 flights a week as an extension to our flight to Brussels, with the daily service that we have already to London. That is going to make 11 flights a week to the UK. But it's not only the 11 flights that we serve to the UK, but the connection to 60 destinations in Africa. So from Manchester today, you can travel, the customer can travel conveniently to 60 destinations with an immediate connection in our hub here in Addis, with about 2 to 3 connecting hours. With, of course, the modern airplanes, and the service is going to be provided with the 787 Dreamliner, the most modern airplane today in our world. And this is going to mark 51 flights a week to Europe. And next week, when we open Moscow, the capital city of, the commercial capital of Russia, with 3 flights a week, that is going to give us 54 flights a week to Europe. So we've covered the continent, we've covered the major cities in Europe, and as you can see, we have started to add second cities in Europe. We are working very hard with the French government to add Marseille in France as a second point to Paris, and we are going to expand accordingly. Europe is very important as a region for Ethiopian Airlines, with 54 flights a week connecting the continent of Africa. And Europe is very important for Africa as a region. With its historical relations, Europe remains to be the leading trading partner for Africa. So the connectivity that we are establishing between the 2 continents is facilitating trade, investment, and tourism, and people-to-people ties. So we're bridging the gap with more expanded services. But this is going to be 119, if I'm not mistaken. Nowadays, since we are adding stations almost every day, it has become to track. It has become difficult to track the number of destinations. So it is about 119 international destinations. So we are connecting Africa with its major trading partners. And this is going to expand the trade, tourism, and investment relations between the two countries, Ethiopia and the United Kingdom. The relations between the two countries has been very good, and it has been growing very, very fast, and the connectivity is going to boost the relations further. So air connectivity is very important in the socio-economic development in both sides of the continents. When we see the contribution of the airline to the Ethiopian economy, as we open more and more direct services to the major trading partners of the country and the countries in Africa, we are significantly contributing towards poverty reduction in Ethiopia and the rest of the continent. If we see tourism, we promote tourism to Ethiopia. We promote Ethiopia as an attractive tourist destination, but we also carry tourists on direct services from major tourist originating countries. Same with trade and investment. But whenever we open new stations like what we do today to Manchester, we also promote Ethiopian exports, like flour, horticultural products, fruits and vegetables, and meat and so on. So the export sector, especially perishable part of the export commodities, depend on Ethiopian Airlines air connectivity. We also contribute in terms of generating foreign exchange for the country. As we know, foreign exchange is a major problem in the socio-economic development of the continent, and particularly in our country. So we generate foreign exchange for the country. We also save the flight of foreign exchange from the country. When we carry passengers as a national carrier between Ethiopia and the rest of the world, we collect fees in Ethiopian birr, and we use the Ethiopian birr in our country. When similar passengers travel on other airlines, there is a flight of foreign currency from the country. So we save foreign currency from leaving the country. But we also generate employment. Today, Ethiopian Airlines, the growth, the fast, profitable, and sustainable growth that we have been registering in the last 10 years has resulted in more than 13,000 high-quality jobs directly employed by Ethiopian Airlines. Another 3,000 on contract basis. But that's not the only one. We also generate indirect employment. Plus or minus around the Bole Airport, we have around 30,000 employees working in the aviation services. So it means a lot of job is being created for our young brothers and sisters. And as we all know, job creation is an important task for our government today. So Ethiopian Airlines means a lot for our country and for the continent. Its growth, although it has been challenging because of many challenges, not only for Ethiopian Airlines, but for most African countries, airlines, but we have been registering profitable and sustainable growth in the last few years, more than a decade. As a result today, and as a result of a successful implementation of our Vision 2025, Ethiopian Airlines is the largest and the most profitable and the fastest growing airline today in our continent. So I take this opportunity to thank my more than 13,000 colleagues at Ethiopian Airlines. Congratulations. Let me also thank the British Embassy, Ambassador Susanna, and the British government and people of the UK for all the support that you have been giving us and you continue to give us. Thank you, Ambassador. Let me also thank the Ethiopian government for the reserve support that we've been getting from the government and all government agencies, and particularly our stakeholders at the airport, the Ethiopian airports, Ethiopian immigration, Ethiopian customs, police, the Ethiopian civil aviation, and others. We thank them very much for all their support, for working together with us day and night to support our growth agenda. Thank you very much. I also thank our customers for supporting us in large numbers. Our customers, number of passengers flying with us has been growing between 20 to 30% per annum compounded in the last few years, and thus we are carrying today about 11 million passengers per annum. So we thank for their support. So once again, we congratulate all of us for opening Manchester, and the bookings are very, very encouraging. We already have full flights already for Christmas on a new flight, very encouraging. So we are very optimistic and very encouraged by the early bookings, and as a result of that, we will quickly ramp up to a daily service and then stop service. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tolde Gavramara, Group CEO of Ethiopian Airlines, for your remarks. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I now respectfully invite Her Excellency Mrs. Susanna Moorhait, Ambassador of the UK to Ethiopia, for a keynote remark.
All the excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, absolutely delighted to be here by the enthusiasm and energy of Ethiopian Airlines is something to behold. I always think of Ethiopian Airlines as being a symbol of Ethiopia. It's global, it's growing, it's connecting people, it's supremely professional, it's modern, it's outward-looking, it's young, and it's dynamic. I'm fortunate enough to be the British ambassador to Ethiopia, but I regard Ethiopian Airlines as an ambassador for Ethiopia wherever it flies. And I'm always amazed by how many people fly Ethiopian, even if they're not coming to Ethiopia. And I benefit from this hugely. I have friends and colleagues all over the world who say, I'm routing through Addis because it is such a great service, it's very cost effective, and as a consequence I see many, many more people than I otherwise would. And I have to say the feedback is overwhelmingly positive, so thank you for that. The inaugural flight to Manchester, and for those of you who don't know, Manchester is the capital of the north of England, huge, vibrant, dynamic city, is a strong, potent symbol of the growing depth and breadth of the relationship between Ethiopia and the UK. Addis Ababa has become a gateway to Africa. You're flying British business with our magnificent Rolls-Royce engines. You're bringing in British business, and I'm delighted to see so many British companies represented here tonight. And in my discussions I've had with His Excellency Prime Minister Abiy, he wants much more British business, and once his reforms are underway, I'm sure there will be people queuing up both in Manchester and in London to invest in this extraordinary country. Also, as Atatwalde mentioned, there are exports that fly Ethiopian Airways. In the UK, almost anywhere you go, in the little supermarkets that you stop in on your way home from work, the flowers that they sell at the checkout, Ethiopian, delivered daily by Ethiopian Airways direct to London and soon to Manchester. There's another aspect I wanted to touch on, which is how closely my government collaborates with Ethiopian Airlines and with the Ethiopian authorities behind the scenes. It's the stuff that as passengers you never see in an airport, but we are working very closely together to keep people safe. As Bole becomes more and more of a hub for travellers, for business, for expansion, regrettably but inevitably, it also becomes a hub for criminals, for traffickers, and for people seeking to undermine the security both of Ethiopia, the UK, and other places to which Ethiopian Airlines flies. We are already collaborating extremely closely with airport officials, and we want to intensify and expand this to protect people, Ethiopians, and other travellers, but also critically to protect the brand that is Ethiopian Airlines. It has a phenomenal reputation, and in order to maintain that and continue to go from strength to strength, we need to make sure that Bole Airport is regarded as the absolute safest and secure airport on the continent. So let me ask that we continue our journey together to support Ethiopia, to support Ethiopia's ties with the United Kingdom, and to support Ethiopian Airlines in bringing prosperity, a phenomenal number of jobs, and across the range. It's jobs for highly skilled people, it's jobs for people who are just entering the industrial sector, and to help support the economic and political change that is underway in this country and that the people of Ethiopia deserve. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, we now proceed to the cake cutting ceremony, and I would like to invite Her Excellency Mrs. Susanna Moorhait, Ambassador of the UK to Ethiopia, and Ethiopian executive management members to be joining our group CEO for the cake cutting ceremony. Thank you.
Cheers.